Are you ready to explore the wonders of the night sky? Look up at the stars and you'll see a beautiful tapestry of shapes and patterns, each one telling a unique story. These patterns, known as constellations, have fascinated humans for thousands of years, inspiring art, literature, and even scientific discovery. In this video, we'll take you on a journey through the world of constellations, exploring their myths, legends, and scientific significance. From the famous constellations like Orion and the Big Dipper to lesser-known ones like Delphinus and Vulpecula, we'll show you how to find them, what they represent, and the fascinating stories behind them. So grab a cup of hot cocoa, bundle up, and join us for an unforgettable tour of the cosmos. The night sky has fascinated humans for thousands of years. From ancient civilizations to modern-day astronomers, people have been mesmerized by the beauty of the stars and the patterns they form in the sky. One of the most recognizable patterns in the sky is a constellation. In this text, we will explore what a constellation is, how they are formed, and some of the most famous constellations visible in the night sky. What is a constellation? A constellation is a group of stars that form a recognizable pattern in the sky. These patterns were first identified by ancient civilizations who used them for navigation and as a way of telling stories about their gods and heroes. Today, there are 88 officially recognized constellations, each with its own unique pattern and mythology. Constellations are named after the shape or object they resemble. For example, the constellation Orion is named after the legendary hunter Orion, and the constellation Ursa Major is named after the Great Bear. The patterns of stars that make up a constellation can be seen from Earth, but they are actually located at different distances from us and are not physically connected. Did you know that the constellation Draco was one of the 48 constellations listed by the 2nd century astronomer Ptolemy, and is still one of the 88 modern constellations recognized by the International Astronomical Union? The constellation Ursa Major, also known as the Big Dipper, has been used as a navigational tool for centuries, with the two outermost stars pointing towards the North Star. The star Betelgeuse, located in the constellation Orion, is one of the largest and brightest stars known, with a diameter estimated to be about 1,000 times larger than our Sun. How are constellations formed? Constellations are formed by grouping together stars that appear close to each other in the sky. However, these stars may not actually be physically close to each other. In fact, some stars that appear close together in the sky may be thousands of light years apart from each other in space. The patterns of constellations are created by our perception of the stars. Just like looking at clouds in the sky and seeing different shapes, we see different shapes in the patterns of stars in the sky. Our perception of the stars is influenced by cultural and historical factors as well. For example, the constellation of Cassiopeia was named after a queen from Greek mythology who was known for her beauty and vanity. There are many famous constellations that are easily visible in the night sky. Some of the most recognizable constellations include Orion. This is one of the most recognizable constellations in the sky. It is named after the legendary hunter Orion, who was said to be the son of Poseidon. The constellation is made up of 7 bright stars, including Betelgeuse and Rigel. Ursa Major, also known as the Great Bear, this constellation is one of the largest and most prominent in the sky. It is named after the shape of the constellation, which resembles a large bear. The 7 stars that make up the shape of the bear are also known as the Big Dipper. Cassiopeia, this constellation is named after the queen from Greek mythology who was known for her beauty and vanity. The constellation is made up of 5 bright stars that form a distinct W shape in the sky. Taurus, this constellation is named after the bull from Greek mythology that Zeus transformed into the stars. The constellation is made up of several bright stars, including Aldebaran, which is one of the brightest stars in the sky. In conclusion, a constellation is a group of stars that form a recognizable pattern in the sky. These patterns were first identified by ancient civilizations who used them for navigation and storytelling. Today, there are 88 officially recognized constellations, each with its own unique pattern and mythology. Constellations are formed by grouping together stars that appear close to each other in the sky, but they may not actually be physically close to each other. Some of the most famous constellations visible in the night sky include Orion, Ursa Major, Cassiopeia, and Taurus. The beauty and mystery of the constellations continue to fascinate humans and inspire awe and wonder in the night sky. Humans have been studying the stars and constellations for thousands of years, and they continue to inspire awe and wonder in the night sky. Whether you're an amateur astronomer or simply enjoy stargazing, there is something magical about looking up at the stars and seeing the patterns of the constellations. They remind us of our place in the universe and our connection to the ancient civilizations that first identified these patterns. Many cultures have their own myths and stories about the constellations. In Greek mythology, for example, the constellation Scorpius is said to represent the scorpion that killed the hunter Orion. The constellation Canis Major, which contains the bright star Sirius, was associated with the Egyptian goddess Isis and played an important role in their religious beliefs and ceremonies. The constellation Lyra is home to the star Vega, which was the first star other than the Sun to be photographed back in 1850. The constellation Cygnus, also known as the Northern Cross, is often used as a symbol of hope and faith in various cultures. In Chinese astronomy, the constellation Aquila is known as the Sky Eagle, and is associated with the legend of a heavenly bird that saved a scholar from drowning. In addition to their beauty and cultural significance, constellations also play an important role in astronomy. They are used by astronomers to locate and study stars and other celestial objects. By studying the patterns and movements of the stars in the constellations, astronomers can learn more about the history and evolution of the universe. In conclusion, constellations are an important part of human history and culture, as well as an essential tool for astronomers studying the universe. Whether you are admiring the stars from your backyard or studying them from a telescope, the constellations are a reminder of the beauty and mystery of the night sky. While all constellations are unique in their own way, they can be categorized into a few different types based on their location in the sky and their history. Here are a few types of constellations that you might encounter. Zodiac constellations. The zodiac constellations are a special set of constellations that are aligned with the ecliptic, which is the path that the sun appears to follow in the sky. These constellations are important in astrology, as they are said to influence the personality traits of people born under their signs. The 12 zodiac constellations include Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Northern Hemisphere constellations. If you live in the Northern Hemisphere, you will likely be more familiar with the constellations that are visible in this part of the sky. Some of the most famous Northern Hemisphere constellations include Ursa Major, Cassiopeia, and Draco. Southern Hemisphere constellations: if you live in the Southern Hemisphere, you will have a different view of the sky than those in the Northern Hemisphere. Some of the most famous Southern Hemisphere constellations include the Southern Cross, Centaurus, and Crux. Modern constellations: in addition to the traditional constellations that have been recognized for centuries, there are also modern constellations that have been added to the list in recent years. These constellations were created by astronomers to fill in gaps in the sky that were not previously recognized. Some modern constellations include Camelopardalis, Canes Venatici, and Lacerta. The constellation Auriga is named after a charioteer, and is often depicted as a man holding a whip in one hand and the reins of a chariot in the other. The constellation Leo Minor was named by Johannes Hevelius in the 17th century, and is one of the few constellations that does not have a mythology or legend associated with it. The constellation Sagittarius, which is often depicted as an archer, is also known as the teapot due to its resemblance to a teapot when viewed from certain angles. The constellation Pegasus, which is named after the winged horse of Greek mythology, is notable for containing a dense concentration of galaxies known as the Pegasus cluster. While the patterns of the constellations are what make them recognizable, the stars themselves are also worth studying. Here are a few famous stars that can be found in some of the most well-known constellations. Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse is a red supergiant star that is located in the constellation Orion. It is one of the brightest stars in the sky and is easily visible to the naked eye. Betelgeuse is also a variable star, which means that its brightness fluctuates over time. Sirius. Sirius is the brightest star in the sky and is located in the constellation Canis Major. It is a binary star system, meaning that it is actually two stars that orbit around each other. Sirius is also known as the dog star and is an important star in many cultures around the world. Vega. Vega is one of the brightest stars in the sky and is located in the constellation Lyra. It is relatively close to Earth, at a distance of only 25 light-years away. Vega is also a popular target for astronomers studying extrasolar planets, as it is known to have at least one planet orbiting around it. Polaris. Polaris, also known as the North Star, is located in the constellation Ursa Minor. It is notable for being the star that is closest to the north celestial pole, which means that it appears stationary in the sky while the other stars appear to rotate around it. Polaris has been used for navigation for centuries, as it provides a reliable point of reference for finding north. One of the most fascinating aspects of constellations is the mythology and culture that surrounds them. Throughout history, people have used the patterns of the stars to tell stories about their gods, heroes, and legends. Here are a few examples of the mythology and culture associated with some famous constellations. Orion. Orion is named after the legendary hunter Orion. Orion is named after the legendary hunter Orion from Greek mythology. According to the story, Orion was a giant and a skilled hunter who was eventually killed by a scorpion. The constellation Orion is one of the most recognizable in the sky, with its distinctive pattern of 3 stars forming his belt. Ursa Major. Ursa Major, also known as the Great Bear, is one of the most well-known constellations in the Northern Hemisphere. It is named after the bear from Greek mythology that was said to be Zeus in disguise. The constellation is easily recognizable due to its pattern of 7 bright stars that form the shape of a dipper. Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia is named after the queen from Greek mythology who was punished for her vanity by being placed in the sky upside down. The constellation is easily recognizable due to its distinctive W shape, which is formed by 5 bright stars. Scorpius. Scorpius is named after the scorpion from Greek mythology that killed Orion. The constellation is easily recognizable due to its curved shape and its bright red star, Antares, which represents the scorpion's heart. These are just a few examples of the rich mythology and culture associated with constellations. Many cultures throughout history have their own stories and legends about the stars, and studying these stories can provide insight into the beliefs and values of these cultures. The constellation Taurus is home to the star Aldebaran, which is often referred to as the eye of the bull and is one of the brightest stars in the night sky. The constellation Cassiopeia is often depicted as a queen sitting on a throne, and is notable for containing a number of interesting deep sky objects such as the Heart and Soul nebulae. The constellation Perseus is named after the Greek hero who slayed the Gorgon Medusa, and is notable for containing the famous variable star Algol, which is known as the demon star due to its eerie fluctuation in brightness. If you're interested in studying constellations, there are many resources available to help you get started. Here are a few tips for getting started. Find a dark sky. The first step to studying constellations is to find a place with little to no light pollution. This will make it easier to see the stars and identify the patterns of the constellations. Get a star chart. A star chart is a map of the night sky that shows the location of the constellations and the stars within them. There are many free star charts available online, or you can purchase a printed star chart from a bookstore or astronomy website. Use a telescope. While many constellations can be seen with the naked eye, a telescope can help you see more detail and study the stars and planets more closely. If you're just starting out, a pair of binoculars can also be a good option. Join an astronomy club. If you're serious about studying constellations, consider joining an astronomy club or society. These groups often offer resources, events, and classes for amateur astronomers. In conclusion, constellations are an important part of human history and culture, as well as an essential tool for astronomers studying the universe. Whether you're admiring the stars from your backyard or studying them from a telescope, the constellations are a reminder of the beauty and mystery of the night sky. By learning about the mythology and culture associated with these patterns, as well as the science behind the stars and planets, we can gain a deeper understanding of our place in the universe.